Welcome to Prismacolor Technique, the online tutorial that teaches you art for wherever you are. Animal Level 1 is the beginning of your art journey. With our help, you'll learn how to make a colorful giraffe. You'll learn skills and build confidence to make art you can be proud of. Before we get started, you'll want to make sure your pencils are sharp. This will give you more control as you work. You'll find a reference image in your instructions. Keep that nearby as you'll be checking it often. You can also tape down your artwork to keep it from slipping. Our artist is going to go ahead and do that here. We're going to begin with our HB Turquoise Graphite Pencil. These graphite pencils feature a hard lead which make lighter strokes that are easier to erase. Let's start with the ear. To figure out where to place it, we're going to divide our paper by sketching parallel lines. Pick elements on opposite ends of the animal that are level to each other. Then sketch a line through the top of those elements. For example, the giraffe's horns are parallel to each other, so draw a line that marks the top of both horns. The ears are also parallel, so we'll draw a line to indicate the top of them, and then one more line for the eyes. Next, let's sketch our outline. You'll notice in our reference that the bottom of the ear starts right by the eye. Go up and create a nice half circle. Use short, light strokes. The idea here is to create the framework for the drawing, not to worry about the details yet. Follow the angle of the ear and go down to create the other side. Right when you get to where these two lines are aligned, come back up to begin the horns. We're going up at a parallel angle to the ear. We'll meet this reference line. Don't worry about being exact. Did you know a giraffe's horns are also known as ossicones? Round out the horn, or ossicone, and come back down. Create a short, horizontal line for the top of the head. Then start the second horn by going back up. Make sure it's parallel to the first one by using our reference line. On the right side of this horn, you can see a bump as it curves down. Go ahead and sketch that in. What you'll notice is that the part of the head that curves down is almost like a circle. So lightly sketch a circle right here, using the reference line as a guide. Now bring that line down, then curve back in to make an eyelid. As you continue the face, curve back out. Follow the angle of the snout as you sketch. Now make the eyelash. Make sure to follow the angle of the head. Draw a half circle under the curve we just created to make the eye. Then we can make the second ear, using the reference line we drew as a guide. The ears don't have to be the exact same height, just close enough. We can see the top of the ear starts closer to the horn. Add another point on the eyelash for reference. Next, we'll move to the snout. Start your line so it's connected with the eye. As we get to the middle of the snout, create a little bump, then curve back in. Sketch a teardrop shape inside of this bump to create the nostril. Notice the nostrils are parallel, so mirror the teardrop to create the second one. Then, sketch the rest of the nostril's outline. Make a little reference line here by the mouth. Later, we'll use this to make sure we follow the angle of the snout. The next thing you'll sketch is the eyebrow, so it's almost parallel to this line by the ears. Go straight up, follow the same line, and curve upwards. Using that curve as a guide, make a quarter or half circle. Then add a reference line for some shadows later. We can use all three of these lines to make a horizontal line for the eyelashes. Come across to the end of that eye and curve down. This will be the corner of the eye. Finish the circle out for the bottom eyelid. Once you do that, add some lines to the left corner of the eye for the eyelashes later. Now, move to the jaw. We can use the eye and nostril here as a guide. Notice the snout comes down at a slight angle. Make a line here and go across very lightly. Right before you hit the nostril, we see that the nose goes up and down at an angle. Make reference hatch lines moving downwards. As we draw our snout towards those hatch lines, we'll curve away. As you reach the end of the snout, make a soft circle. Sketch the bottom jaw right underneath this top part of the mouth. To sketch the jaw, we're actually going to use this eye as our reference. The jaw starts just underneath this eyebrow. Bring the jawline right down the side of the face. Using these 2 points, connect them in a sweeping motion. You'll notice some loose skin on the side of the face. Add that in. To place the neck, reference the same point in the eye. Go here and sketch towards the corner of the page. Follow the same line and go right past this divot. Make a little line for the other part of the neck. We're going to follow the same angle as the other side of the neck. Now we'll fill in more of the details. First, let's make some reference lines here for hair later. Sketch the inner part of the ear. This will help with depth. And add the same sort of lines in the other ear. For the eyes, add a reflection in the top right, as if a light source is hitting your giraffe. Put a little light in the eye and draw a circle inside of that. And of course, do the same on the other eye. Add another highlight to the bottom of the eye. Notice in our image that there's a crown around the forehead. We want to make sure our angle is still correct, so add some reference lines that go up the snout. Let's make that crown a little triangle aligned with the 2 points we just drew. Use short parallel strokes to signify hair. Then add some hair to the neck. Now we can sketch out the darker spots, or patches, on our giraffe. Our artist will follow the reference, but feel free to make it your own. You don't have to be exact. Add a little of that skin under the jaw for later. The spots on the face are smaller, so make sure to keep them smaller in your sketch. Add a couple closer to the eye, almost like freckles. Now, when you sketch, it's okay to make a mistake. They are part of the process. We can take our eraser, erase the mistake, and draw it over again. That's why we sketch lightly. Finally, erase these reference lines so that you're ready to color. And that's it for our sketch. Be proud of how far you've come. Remember, you can erase and adjust as needed. And when you're ready, catch us in the next lesson.